Okay, we got week 17. Got a lot of crazy things to go over for this week, but let's get down to the main thing. This playoff picture is going, it kind of already panned out, but there's a lot of other teams that are still in the race, and this last week, it's just going to be like do or die for a couple teams. So I'm really excited for that. I don't know how this whole situation with the Bills and the Bengals is going to play out. Never seen a thing like that kind of happen. So, yeah. We're just going to get right into it though, because we got a lot to discuss. And the Broncos are definitely one of those things. But, man, the season's almost over. Well, the Broncos season is over, but I hate the offseason, man. I hate it. Let's go right into the first game. Thursday night, the Cowboys and the Titans. This game should not have been 14 points. Dallas should have scored double this amount of points. When I tell you that the absolute backups for the Titans were in this game, I am not kidding. Zeke, what does Zeke do now besides run the ball at the goal line? 19 carries for 37 yards. That is horrible. Dalton Schultz had a really good game. 2 big catches. He actually got some hands. You know what I mean? Like, people kind of sleep on this man. He has soft hands for a tight end. But, oh man, did the Cowboys struggle against this pathetic Titans team. They had no Derrick Henry, no starting quarterback. Like, I don't even know who their receivers are. And, their defense was just dominating the Cowboys consistently. But, Dallas just ends up kind of just takes control of the game like they should have. As you can see here by the possession time, a good 7 minutes. Not a lot of penalties. But, as you can see here, a lot of penalties for the Titans. Dak had 2 picks that were very costly. Unfortunately, the Titans couldn't really fully take advantage of those. But this was a poor performance by the Cowboys. A dub is a dub, but man, that was tough to watch, especially on prime time. Next, we're going to go to the Saints and the Eagles. Had the Eagles win in this game. I really thought Gardner Minshew could take down this trash Saints team. I was wrong. I felt like nothing could really get going. A.J. Brown, still a beast. It doesn't really matter who's giving him the ball. He's just going to continuously make plays. But, this was a really bad game for the Eagles. Look at the possession time. 15 more minutes. That's a lot. 37 minutes is a lot. Philly was just messing up. Penalties. No possession time. Fumbles. Gardner Minshew's pick 6. The run game couldn't get going. 25% on third downs. I mean, they couldn't. I didn't watch the game fully, but I mean, from what I was kind of seeing highlights here and there, the Saints were just making plays. Like, they came to play. Philly just couldn't execute. Like, everything they tried, they just couldn't do it. Unless it was just throw the ball to A.J. Brown. But tough loss for the Eagles. I believe this would have clinched first place. But I don't even know if they have first place anymore. They might not even get a bye. Gardner Minshew had one job to win one of two games. I mean, the Cowboys is a tough task, but the Saints, no excuse. Next we have the Bears and the Lions. It's the Bears, man. I mean, what are the Bears going to do? You already know Justin Fields doesn't have help. I mean, I do believe that the Bears are the worst team in the NFL right now. When Justin Fields has to run, how many yards did he get? He had to have got, he was going crazy in the first quarter. Like, single-handedly, the Lions had to just do everything in their power to contain Justin Fields. And they win the game, and that's what they did. You know, they made adjustments quickly. Let me see. How many rushing yards did he have? Justin Fields had 132 rushing yards on 10 rushing attempts. Can someone give this man a receiver, a tight end, both? I mean, the Bears literally are a couple of key playmakers in the receiving corps away from being a winning team. I mean, they still need a lot of work on the defensive side of the ball and play calling, but give Justin Fields some weapons, man. I mean, he's just wasting. I mean, this is a wasted year for him. Not saying that he's playing 100% perfect. He's not crazy amazing when he throws the football, but who's he throwing to? I don't know who he's throwing to. But let's not discredit the Lions. They did have a good game. Jamal Williams went crazy. I believe DeAndre Swift had a touchdown as well. O-line played amazing. Jared Goff had basically a perfect game. But, it's hard to give a team that much credit when you play the Bears. Like, the Bears are just horrible. But clutch win for the Lions. They needed that big time. Huge division win, technically, you know what I mean? But they're still they might make the playoffs. The Lions might make the playoffs. Crazy to think about. I don't get the Panthers, man. I can't. I'm done. I'm literally done trying to understand the Panthers and predict who's going to win. I don't even care anymore. It's the most 50-50 thing ever. I'm never going to pick the Panthers to be correct because it's impossible to see who's going to win. It's annoying. Tom Brady snuck into the playoffs. 432 yards. 3 touchdowns. They were not running the ball this game. They were just not running the ball. Sam Darnold had a pretty decent game as well. It's just the fact that I just don't get the Panthers, man. I don't get them. They're so hard to evaluate because You think they're making amazing progress, and then they just completely forget what they did the week before and just play the complete opposite. The Panthers are so inconsistent that they're literally impossible to see what they're improving in, because I don't know what they're improving in, because one game they'll do amazing in certain categories. Next game, I mean, they fall apart. You know, you had one job to not let Brady into the playoffs. What do? You let him in the playoffs. You don't want Brady or Rodgers, if you're an NFC team, to get to the playoffs, because you already know what they could possibly do. And what do? These teams that could have clutched up to kick Rodgers out of the playoffs, the Panthers could have clutched up to kick Brady out of the playoffs. What do? None of them clutch up. Brady and Rodgers potentially are going... Well, Brady is going to the playoffs. Rodgers may go to the playoffs if they win this next game. I cannot believe how it's unfolding. You know, people don't understand. Like, it doesn't matter about the record. Doesn't matter who you have. You have a chance to win it all. You just have to make the playoffs. Just make it. Once you make it, you have a chance. Brady and Rodgers are... Well, Brady for sure. Rodgers, maybe. But, I mean, they're right there. You know, you done goofed. You let them both in. Shame on the Panthers. Shame. Where are all of my Daniel Jones and Saquon? Well, I'm not really a big Saquon fan anyway. But where's all my Daniel Jones haters? Hiding is where they are. Y'all slept on Daniel Jones this whole season. Who was riding with me? Not a lot. People were saying Daniel Jones he can't throw. He's not clutch. But he's winning games. And he took the Giants to the playoffs. Not by himself, but basically by himself. This offense has no weapons, and he took them to the playoffs. I'm so proud of him. So proud of him. I used to hate Daniel Jones. I really did. And then I realized he has no support. He's a white Justin Fields. Give him a better coach. Give him some players. And he's going to bloom into an amazing quarterback. Daniel Jones got the coach. He just needs the weapons. Oh, man. It's crazy. It's really crazy. I'm happy for the Giants. Saquon needs to play perfect in the playoffs. If they even have a chance. You know what I mean? If you look at the Giants, they didn't really go up against much of a challenge. You're going up against Nick Foles. I don't know how to pronounce that rookie's name. Sacks him. Flexes on him, basically. He said he didn't see him go down. Let's be real. He saw him go down. Sam Ehlinger comes in. Plays decent, but I mean, what are you going to do? You're already down by a lot of points. New York scored 24 points in the second quarter alone. I mean, you don't really have a chance. You know, you're playing catch-up. They're playing soft defense towards the end, but yeah, you know, it was, I believe Nick Foles threw a pick six. Like, the defense was going crazy. But, yeah, I mean, pretty one-sided. They punted one time. I'm just so proud of the Giants, man. They pulled through. They pulled through. To think that 3 teams in the NFC East are making the playoffs. Wait, East? Is that correct? Yes, NFC East. 3 teams made it. That is pretty impressive. Washington almost snuck in, but they don't have any quarterbacks. They don't have any identity really. So, but huge win for the Giants. This was a pretty impossible win for the Colts. So I'm not putting a bunch of credit on the Giants to winning this game. More of just the actual goal of their season. But proud of them. Really proud of them. Next we have the Jaguars and the Texans. AFC South game. Man, I have yet to see a Texans game besides them playing the Broncos this year. And let me tell you, I'm not missing anything. Not missing anything. The fact that Davis Mills is even still starting. Like, why don't you just put Jeff Driscoll and leave him in? I mean, there's just no point. I mean, this team, the Texans are in poverty right now. They are in absolute poverty. This Deshaun Watson thing just was an absolute blow to the Texans organization, and they have yet to even come close to recovering. The previous owner / head coach or whatever he was, GM, I mean, he screwed everything up for the Texans. And it's showing, they're just a joke. They need a complete overhaul, coaching staff, quarterback, O-line. Well, the O-line is okay. Receivers, running backs. Well, that one running back is good, but he's hurt, I believe. Just throw the defense away. I mean, the whole defense needs to just be completely overhauled. If you're looking, I hate to say it, but the Texans need to they need to relocate or something. They need to become a new team. Straight up. You know what I mean? I don't know what type of team. I don't know where. But this team needs a new identity. I mean, you're going to be rebuilding this team for 3 to 5 more years. Why not just complete... I don't know. The Texans are just... I'm just done talking about them. Trevor Lawrence didn't even have a great game. It's just the fact that they're playing the Texans, man. They just ran the ball a lot. Got some turnovers. But it's not that crazy of a win. But the Jags, I'm not sure if they clinched a spot, but they're on, if they didn't clinch the spot, they're on the edge. They're close to the playoffs. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Didn't watch this game. Had no interest even looking at the highlights of this game. Look at these quarterbacks, man. Who wants to watch that? I don't want to watch that. Is there even anything to go over here? I mean, I really don't want to go over this game. I'm just going to kind of show you all the box. Let's just look at them together because you didn't watch it. I didn't watch it. So let's just kind of break down, kind of see what happened here. there's not much to talk about. Both have 100, almost 130 yards each rushing. Falcons had 166 passing. Arizona had 213. O-line did a lot of protection for these backup quarterbacks. No interceptions, surprisingly. Only 5 punts. So it just seems like these teams are just going back and forth at being trash. It's crazy that Matt Prater is still in the league. He's so old. I had the Cardinals winning. I thought, they could beat a trash Falcons team. Clearly they couldn't, but that's all we're going to talk about for that game because there's nothing really to go over. We got the Browns and the Commanders. Had the Browns winning this game. I just felt like the Commanders were in shambles. They weren't really put together. They weren't composed. Carson Wentz. Was he a fluke? He had that one season where he was like MVP and then never even came close to, recreating that. But yeah. Remember when they had like Carson Wentz and Dak Prescott, like who's better? And people were picking Carson Wentz, after his MVP season type thing. I was like, there's no way people think that he's better than Dak Prescott. But they did. People wanted Carson Wentz starting over Jalen Hurts. And they wanted Nick Foles to take the job and have Carson Wentz be somewhere else. I'm like, there's no way y'all are this stupid. We're not talking about the Eagles. Commanders, they're just trash. They're very unorganized, very uncomposed. They don't have any identity. They're just a very strange team. They need a lot of players. Deshaun Watson finally had his first ever good game as a Brown. He only threw it 18 times though. And he was only 50%. But out of those 9 completions, he threw 3 touchdowns. Nick Chubb, godly of course. Amari Cooper, I did see those 2. A lot of Deshaun Watson's, as you can see here, his yards of the game really just came from Amari Cooper's 3 catches. As you can see here, it was a little bit of a slow game. Just kind of took the dub, took advantage of all of their mistakes. But yeah, I had the Browns easily winning this game. I was kind of right, but yeah. Huge L for the Commanders. Huge L. What do we have next? The Dolphins and the Patriots. So I did have the Dolphins winning this game. The Dolphins are just the Patriots' kryptonite. Teddy Bridgewater probably had his best game in the last 2 years. But wasn't enough. I know for a fact that the run game could not get going for the Dolphins, but I don't believe it went that great for the Patriots either, but I'm pretty sure they did better. Tyreek Hill has been a little bit silent, I guess. He was going crazy. Him and Jalen Waddle, 100 yards a game, touchdown a game. Looks like the Dolphins aren't even going to make the playoffs. And they started hot. Tua's injuries definitely I mean, Tua's concussions definitely are keeping this team out of the success that they need, but no excuses, you know what I mean? You just gotta go out there and make plays. Only 14 first downs, but they come out with the dub. Really impressive. Oh wow! So the Dolphins actually got more rushing yards. I mean, they just played. Honestly, they played better. You know, I didn't watch this game, so only watched a couple highlights. Looks like they were playing better. You know, it's just the fact that they just couldn't capitalize. You know, two picks is, you know, that's gonna get you there. The fact that Teddy Bridgewater has to be one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. And, you know, you can't tell me otherwise. He will rather throw it away 3 times than give a receiver a chance 3 times. He has no trust in his receivers, and I don't like him. You know, he's like, oh, he's a great leader. He overcame his injuries. That's all cool. But that's not going to help you win a football game. You know, you have to have some skill. Teddy Bridgewater lacks that. But, yeah. Just a clutch win, honestly, from the Patriots. Huge L for the Dolphins. Next, we got the Jets and the Seahawks. I mean, did anyone have the Jets winning this game? I mean, do people think that Mike White is, like, good? People still think that Mike White is good? Okay. Keep believing that. This is a completely one-sided game. No real, you know, expectation. Nothing crazy went down. As you can see here, it wasn't an exciting game. Seahawks easily were going to win this game. There's no possible reason that the Jets were going to upset the Seahawks here unless, like, so many things went wrong for the Seahawks. But, yeah, Seahawks just completely destroyed them in the run game. Huge L for the Jets. This keeps the Seahawks playoff hopes alive, I think. It's really difficult to see what it's after this week. You know, you'll be able to kind of see what the playoffs are going to look like, obviously, because it's done. But Seahawks may slip in the playoffs, which is unfortunate, to say the least. Next, we have the 49ers and the Raiders. Huge overtime win for the 49ers. I believe this is a huge NFC win for the 49ers. Brock Purdy had a pretty decent game. Jared Stidham, you know, those 2 picks, costly, very costly. But Christian McCaffrey went crazy. Josh Jacobs, I feel like he's given up on the Raiders, as he should. You know, you have to play with Derek Carr for your entire career. That will make you feel like that. Devontae Adams, crazy game, huge corner touchdown in the end zone. Brandon Ayuk had a crazy game as well. If you go down here, you can kind of see. This was those penalties. I mean, interceptions is what really solidified, you know, this type of win here. But this game was going crazy. It was back and forth. You know, I was switching between this and the Vikings and the Packers. I was going back and forth. You know, I ended up watching a majority of the Vikings and the Packers game, but I kind of wanted to see what was going on here. Every time I would watch it, I mean, just boom, 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 back and forth, back and forth. Went to overtime. 49ers got a much-needed win. And I got to see the Raiders lose. And I had the 49ers winning. So, 3 good things happened. I don't know why I picked the Rams for this game. I feel like an absolute idiot picking the Rams. There's absolutely no way that, take me back last week so I can just slap myself. I don't even know why I picked the Rams. An absolute stupid pick. But yeah. Paid the price. Austin Eckler destroyed the Rams defense. Mike Williams mossing people. Justin Herbert throwing dimes. Baker Mayfield playing mid. Their running backs. Cam Akers had a good game, but I don't know how I picked the Rams. Probably my top 3 worst pick of the entire season so far. But, just look at the possession time. 7 more minutes. I just feel like an idiot. Huge idiot. I believe, unfortunately, this does keep the Chargers in the playoffs. I believe this clinched them a playoff spot. Maybe. Not really sure. But it's looking that way. Hopefully we can, get a dub on them on Sunday. So, cross my fingers on that one. Vikings and the Packers. Vikings were getting absolutely destroyed, exposed. Kirk Cousins played like trash. Aaron Rodgers didn't even play that good. Only 159 yards. But the run game is what carried them this game. Horrible mistakes by Kirk Cousins this game. But you can't put the full blame on him, but you can put a lot of it. Those 3 interceptions were super costly. They shut down Justin Jefferson. They couldn't get their offense going. Brandon Cook, I believe, fumbled, if I'm not mistaken. Dalvin Cook. Maybe he fumbled. I can't remember. But turnovers. 6 turnovers. You don't give the ball 6 extra times to Aaron Rodgers. You just don't do that. Huge divisional win. Huge L for the Vikings. Man, dude, the fact that this game, y'all better watch out for Rodgers and Brady, man. They're coming in the playoffs. Full speed. Ready to just kill. Let's go to Sunday night. We have the Steelers and the Ravens. Really entertaining game. Both teams kind of suck. The Ravens needed to win this game. Big time needed to win. Tyler Huntley could not do it once again. Kenny Pickett played a really good game. His stats don't show it, but he played a good game. Najee Harris had a pretty decent game as well. J.K. Dobbins, he had a really good game. Mark Andrews was clutch this game. But fortunately, when you have Tyler Huntley throwing you the ball, what can you do? Lamar Jackson needs to be on the field for this last game. I don't know if he will, but, he needs to be on the field. Possession time, Pittsburgh dominated. They just played better. They played better, made more plays, clutched up. Not much else to say. Tyler Huntley has no clutch gene. Steelers just, keep finding ways to win. Shout out to Mike Tomlin, underrated coach. Now let's go to a very strange, scary occurrence on Monday. have never seen this type of thing happen in the league before. There's roughly a hit like this. Well, not exactly like this, but there's a scary, altering hit that happens roughly once every 5 to 6 seasons. This is one of them. I mean, this game was going to be back and forth. You could tell right off the bat. It was going to be a battle to the end. This game also determined a lot of playoff, how the playoffs were going to pan out. And then, everyone's seen the play. I'm not going to talk about it too much. Everyone's seen the play. It's one of those things where it's just a perfect time. A perfect place, perfect time type thing. Everyone has a certain, spot, but what people don't understand, that every body, like not everybody, every body is different. He didn't even get hit that hard, but he got hit absolutely perfect on his particular body. I don't know too much about him. I'm not going to sit here and say that, oh, he was a sleeper safety, this and that. I didn't know him. Didn't know of him until this hit. He's in his second year. He's 24. And he may have just played his last game. That sucks. Never seen a player have to get revived. He's out for 9 minutes while they're doing CPR the entire time. Never have seen that. I saw it in real time, and I was like, did he just pass out or whatever? And then 2 or 3 commercial breaks later, I'm like, wow, okay, this is taking a long time. I don't know what they're going to do, with this particular game. This is a Monday night game. It's the last game of the week. And they postponed it. We're going on to Wednesday, and they said they're not going to play it for this week. I just don't know what they're going to do. Are they going to push the playoffs back a week and then have the Bengals-Bills play by themselves in that 1 week? I don't know what they're going to do. This type of thing has never happened. I've never seen a game postponed. But yeah. I don't believe that Damar Hamlin is going to die, per se. Watching it, I'm like, you would have heard, if he's going to make it or not. I really didn't have any doubt that he wasn't going to make it. He's going to make it. I'm calling it. He's going to pull through. There's a lot of support around him. Everyone's praying for him. He's got to pull through. You know what I mean? But, when he does pull through, I just really don't believe that he will ever be able to play football again. When the brain is out of oxygen, for a certain amount of time, most times you'll just kind of be either like, disabled the rest of your life, disabilities left and right, but no one knows how this is going to turn out for him. But pretty scary, It's not about how much protection that the league does and how good the equipment is. If you get hit in your particular body, in your particular soft spot, your life could just be on the brink. And they said his brain had a delayed reaction. Man, this whole situation, just super unfortunate. You take that play out of the game, this game continues, everyone's fine, we have a normal football game. But I don't want this to make it sound like not caring about him or anything like that, because I do. But the only thing negative that is coming out of this is now we're going to see a lot of penalties next season. We're going to see a lot of penalties next season regarding this hit. As a receiver, I feel like they're not going to be allowed to, put any bit of their head down. This is going to change a lot in the rules because of this hit. Obviously, to make the game safer, but, too many rules can ruin a sport. I just really hope they don't, go overboard. I know they're going to make rules, new rules implemented because of this hit. I just hope they don't ruin the game to the point where they're going to throw a stupid penalty in a place where it didn't need to be. But hopefully he pulls through, man, because that would be horrible. He was basically dead on the field. We've never seen that before. I've never seen that before anyway. I mean, it's probably happened, but I haven't seen it. Pretty scary, but we're going to see what, how this whole thing pans out. They're not giving a lot of updates on them. They're keeping everything super private, which is understandable, but come on, give us some updates. You know what I mean? But we're going to see. Next couple days we should have the answer to that, but hopefully he pulls through. Let's see. Keep him in your prayers. That's all I can say. Last game to go over. We got the Broncos and the Chiefs. I'm tired of being this close every single week, time. I'm tired of it. I'm so tired of losing to the Chiefs. You can go look at my past episodes of me talking just about the Bronco game. This is the first week that I can confidently say that we lost because of the refs. Last year, a lot of games, we were getting just horrible calls, and the refs were really against us last year. And this year, no problems. We had no problems with the refs. Maybe a call here and there, but this game, the amount of missed calls and stupid penalties thrown on the Broncos was just unbelievable. Russell Wilson had a really good game. 220, threw a touchdown, threw a horrible pick. Horrible. But ran for two touchdowns. Pretty good. We're doing this with no running back. We have Latavius Murray. He's decent, but he's so old. He's not, energetic. He's a power back. We don't have anything else. Albert Okwuegbunam. I don't know. He can't block. He has horrible hands. I mean, he's a strange athlete. But he did catch a clutch touchdown, so happy about that one. Kansas City won this game because of obviously the refs and Andy Reid. Andy Reid on the touchdown plays, he drew them up to perfection. Absolute perfection. Patrick Mahomes didn't do anything crazy this game. He made a couple deep throws to wide open receivers, but he had about 2 really good plays to keep drives alive. But, I mean, he didn't do anything crazy this game. But, I mean, the Broncos at this moment in time, we have so many backups on the defensive end. I mean, the defensive line. We are getting zero pressure. So we almost beat the Chiefs with zero pressure from our D-line. But man, we're so close every single time. And then we just get robbed, specifically in this game. The fact, I'm pretty sure no one watched this game, but it's like 3rd and 10. Russell Wilson throws a deep pass to Courtland Sutton into double coverage. Looked like a really stupid pass. Courtland goes up, mosses, and just comes down with it. Immediately in field goal range, flips the field. And they call offensive pass interference. On one, I think we've had offensive pass interference one other time this entire season. And the other one was legit because it was like we screened somebody when we shouldn't have. So it was a legit pass interference. This one, you can rewatch the play. There's no way you call offensive pass interference. If anything, you don't call anything. If anything, you call defensive pass interference or nothing at all. I was just in complete shock that was called. It makes no sense. One of the receivers, I believe it was Tooney, he completely shoves, Justin Simmons out of the play. And, no offensive pass interference there. I'm trying to think of some other costly penalties. There's one more besides the Russell Wilson sack. They were like offsides one time. But the Russell Wilson sack, Chris Jones literally lifts Russell Wilson up, flings him, slams him on his side, while also putting pressure on him. Literally the three things you can't do to a quarterback. He did all three of them with two refs looking, and not one of them said, you know what, that looked a little bit like a roughing the passer. Oh. Horrible refereeing. Horrible refs, horrible crew. They never need to ever referee a Broncos game. You know, we're 4-12. They're not going to give us these calls. They're just not. But, oh man, it was really bad. Really bad. We're close. We're so close to beating the Chiefs. We made a bunch of big plays. We're scoring points. Notice how our, 2 out of 4 games where we score more than 20 points are against the Chiefs. We're putting up points against the Chiefs with backups. Give us the starters. And give us the starters with metal bones. We're probably 12-4. Just flip the record. What ifs are not real though. No excuses. We should have won this game. We didn't. Didn't make enough plays. We had the opportunities. Didn't execute. Simple as that. But big game. Big game. We're close. We're getting there. Making improvements. Next, we're going to go to Week 18 for the picks. I've been pretty bad on my picks lately. But so has everyone else, I hope. Because this has been a very strange little week. I got the Chiefs beating the Raiders. I think the Chiefs are going to just easily steamroll this win. But, yeah, I got the Chiefs on that one. Pretty easy to pick that. Oh, this is for Saturday. Nice. We have the Titans and the Jaguars. I got the Jaguars on that. I'm going to go to this later. Man, this is... Texans and the Colts. Texans and the Colts. Last game of the season, both out of the playoffs. This is a toss-up. Two bad teams. Going with the Texans, man. You know, they had a horrible year. You know, going with the Texans. Where are they at? Oh. Next we have the Vikings and the Bears. I mean, come on. Vikings all day on that one. Kind of want the Bears to win, though. Ravens and the Bengals. I don't know what... This is so difficult because I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, is this game even going to be played? Strange. I'm not really even going to pick that because there's nothing to pick. You know what? I'm going to pick anyway. Picking the Bengals. You know, if this game ever does happen, I'm picking the Bengals. Got the Jets and the Dolphins. Is Tua coming back? Last game? Are they even in playoff contention anymore? Don't know. Let me see. Don't even know if they're in playoff contention, really. But I think the Dolphins are going to win that. I think they have a better team. Panthers and the Saints. Like I said, I'm done. I don't know who's going to win this game. I don't know who's going to win this game. Because if I pick the Saints, the Panthers are going to win. If I pick the Panthers, the Saints are going to win. Both teams are playing for nothing right now because they're both out of the playoffs. If I pick the Saints, the Panthers are going to score 40 points. If I pick the Panthers, they're going to get absolutely demolished by Andy Dalton. Picking the Saints. Bills and the Patriots, like I said, I don't know if this game is even going to happen. If it does happen, I'm picking the Bills. Buccaneers and the Falcons, come on now. Picking the Bucs. If you're going to sit there and tell me that Desmond Ridder is going to beat Tom Brady, stop playing. Browns and the Steelers. This is an interesting game and a huge game for the Steelers. I think they play at Cleveland as well. Do they? Oh, wow. No, they play at Pittsburgh. This is a toss-up. I think the Steelers can pull it off. I do. I really do. Next we have the Rams and the Seahawks. Picking the Seahawks. Next we have the Giants and the Eagles. Man, that's going to be a close game. Huge division win for the Giants if they... Jalen Hurts is going to play though. So, picking the Eagles. MVP, Jalen Hurts. Cardinals and the 49ers. Come on now. If the 49ers lose this game, I'm not even going to say it. Cowboys and the Commanders. Cowboys. Come on. Really? Let's go back to the Lions and the Packers. This got flexed to Sunday night. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. This is going to be such a close. I hope this is a close game. I feel like the Lions are actually a better team. But the Lions also don't have Aaron Rodgers. This is going to be a run game big time. Call me crazy. I'm picking the upset by the Lions. Last game, we got the Chargers and the Broncos. Picking the Broncos, man. Last game of the year. We gotta go out on a dub. It's at home. We have to, man. We just have to. Well, that was everything for week 17. Week 18 coming up. After week 18, we got the playoffs. And this horrible season of the Denver Broncos will be finally over. Yeah, man. Hopefully, everything kind of goes right for some people and their teams. Hopefully everyone's team, got the dub. This is all you can ask. But, a lot of expectations. And it's just crazy. Crazy to see. But we're ready. I'm ready for the playoffs. Big time. Hopefully everyone has a great week. Everyone's team gets the dub. Hopefully DeMar Hamlin pulls through. But yeah. I will see y'all next Wednesday. Week 18. And playoffs. Deuces.